Ponchatoula worked to put out a fire tonight in a massive pile of trees that were cleared from about an acre of land on Highway 51. That's according to the Ponchatoula Times. The fire broke out at the entrance to the Pine Island subdivision between 6:30 and 7 and was brought under control about an hour later. It's unclear if someone lit the trees on fire.